Welcome back to the channel. Well, yet another hastily slapped together video about film music and films. And today I'm going to talk about Star Trek the Motion Picture. Again, this isn't a review. I love the film. Uh, Anything I cover on this channel I love, so it's not really a review. I'm not trying to get you to watch it, I'm just sharing with you what I feel about it. But yeah, today, Star Trek the Motion Picture. I don't think this is an original LP, I think this was a reissue LP that I got later on. But I first saw Star Trek the Motion Picture. I've never seen it in the cinema or theatres, as some people say. I saw it on a really cruddy, crappy video in Northern Ireland in about 1981. My dad was in the army. I was about probably 12, 13. And he'd borrowed a video from a video library, an army video library, the SSVC, the Services Sound and Vision Corporation. But this video had been around, probably around the world, and it was just in poor state, but it was watchable. And I knew Star Trek. We watched Star Trek on TV, 6 o'clock on weekdays on BBC Two. It used to be, if I remember rightly. But I thought, do I want to see a film of Star Trek? I wasn't that fussed, but I was absolutely engrossed as I watched it. And I've always loved Star Trek the Motion Picture. It's got a bad rap over the years, boring, slow moving, dull. But I just loved the mystery of it. I loved the majesty of it. It was even on that crappy little video cassette, the VHS video cassette, on a TV screen that was about this big, which we thought was huge at the time. I was just transported, and that final revelation about what V'Ger was just, whoa, what? Loved it, always loved it, and I loved the music as well. For some reason, I'd heard the main theme for Star Trek, so when I first saw the film, I thought, oh, so that's where that music comes from. So that was another kind of blossom on the tree of soundtrack life. But it was years later. It took me years to track down a copy of the score and be able to afford one. I got a recording of a friend of mine, Philip Murphy, lived down the street. His parents had a bookshop. But he lent me his LP, and I made a cassette tape of it. But it wasn't until I joined the army in 85, probably 86, that I got this, and I loved it. A bit later on, much later on, there was this weird little set, and it was the 20th anniversary collector's edition. Now this had an expanded version of the soundtrack with 7 unreleased tracks sequenced as they appear in the film. But it also came with Inside Star Trek with Gene Roddenberry, which is interesting in its own right, but it's all about the TV series and just weird interviews with the cast and crew and stuff. But yeah, it's interesting, but I don't know why they put it with the... Anyway. But yeah, I was glad to have that because it had an expanded version of the score. And then, moving on, years later, I think it was 2012, if I'm right. Yeah, 2012, we got this little beauty, the La La Land 3 CD, complete soundtrack, unused score, just alternatives, weird stuff, A Star Beyond Time by Sean Cassidy. But yeah, and obviously La La Land did their 2-disc one quite recently, which I didn't see the need to get. I know it's been remastered, but couldn't afford it, as a God's honest truth. But this will do me. This to me is the definitive version at the moment. But yeah, but I'm still a fan of the film. I still love watching the film. For the longest time, I watched it on a VHS tape that I bought in a box set of the first 5 films in one of those cardboard slip tubes. Don't know what happened to it. It's long gone anyway. Then I got them on the 2-disc DVDs. Now the 2000 special edition or director's edition came out on DVD, and I was never impressed with the picture quality. I loved the changes that they made to it. You know, the kind of Robert Wise's vision of the way he wanted the film to be, but it was such a rushed push to get it out there in 1979. But I was never impressed with the picture quality on that 2000 DVD. So I've had it on various versions throughout the years. Got this box set of the first 6 Star Trek films, and you know, there's lots of controversy surrounding digital noise reduction on these films, but for a long time that Blu-ray version of Star Trek the Motion Picture was the best version to get. I thought it looked fine, and it had an interesting commentary on it from various people, the Okudas and some other people. So that was what I watched for the longest time. But then this year we got this little beauty. Now it looks great. It looks absolutely fantastic, and they've kind of retouched the whole film from the bottom up, and redone some of the special effects. So because the original 2000 version was it was only a standard definition version. Why? I don't know. Probably money. But this was shown in cinemas. It's and it looks fantastic in 4K. People say it looks like a brand new film. It looks fantastic, and it reflects the era it was made in. It's not. How do I say this? It does look fantastic, but I went in thinking I was going to see just almost a brand new film. It's not. There are some of the special effects shots are, but that's just a product of the age that they were produced in. But it does look absolutely fantastic. So I mean, if you've got a 4K setup, this is the version to have. It just looks awesome. But if you've got Blu-ray as well, that's fine as well. But to me, it's still a great Star Trek film. I love the fact there's no villain. It's all about the mystery and exploration, and yeah, it's great. And of course, Jerry Goldsmith's score. It's a top 5 score for me. On any given day, it's probably my #1 Jerry Goldsmith score. That varies depending on my mood, but it's got everything. It's got that main theme. That main theme is one of the best tunes Jerry ever wrote. But it's just full of mystery or weirdness. You know, some of the Vija cloud flyover music is just mesmerizing. Yeah, it's just a tour de force of film music. So if you haven't got a copy of the music for Star Trek in any form, get it. I mean, if you can get this one, do. If you can get the 2-disc La 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 one, do. But just have it in your collection. It's just brilliant. And if you haven't seen the film in a while, see it in the new spanking director's edition. It does look great. And yeah, I'm going to do one of these on Star Trek 2 soon as well, because that has a special place in my heart. I went to see that with my dad at a cinema in Kendal, but I'll save that for the Star Trek 2 video. But yeah, Star Trek the Motion Picture, music by Jerry Goldsmith. The director's edition looks absolutely minted on 4K, and I love it. I'm a huge fan of the film. If you're not, tough. But that's it for now. I'll speak to you soon. I've got a box of CDs coming from Daniel. Hopefully that will be here on Tuesday the 29th, and I'll do a super awesome unboxing video for that. So until then, I'll see you soon. Good day.